Billionaire house tier list.
From a $2 billion mega mansion to a $50,000 tiny home, this is the billionaire house tier list. Vladimir Putin has a net worth of $200 million and he's got a palace with an underground bunker. S tier. Mark Zuckerberg,
yeah, that's something he would do.
Of land in Hawaii so he could build a massive compound with a self-sustainable underground bunker, over a dozen houses including 2 mansions and a web of disc-shaped tree houses connected by rope bridges.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's valid.
Steve Jobs bought a California mansion called the Jackling House. It was designed in 1925 by famous architect George Washington Smith for famous rich guy Daniel Jackling. Steve Jobs wanted to burn it down. California said no, because of its historical significance.
Why would you want to burn it down?
Really wanted to burn it down. He went on record calling the house a dump. He said Jackling had no taste and that George Washington Smith was a nobody. He then abandoned the house and let it rot for 10 years. The house became such a mess that he was finally given permission to destroy it. 8 months later, he died, making the brutal destruction of this innocent house one of Steve Jobs' final victories. I don't get why he hated on this house so much. I'd say it's a strong C tier. World famous pharmaceutical salesman El Chapo had a peak net worth of
El Chapo had a house.
Said to have houses at every single beach and a ranch in every single state. He also had the government looking for him at every single state. So rather than living in his luxurious mansions, he was forced to stay in discreet safe houses to avoid the law.
Yeah, you would think so.
Had hidden escape routes connecting Chapo to a network of underground tunnels that allowed him to escape capture and keep his drug empire running. This man was a Harriet Tubman of crack, solid F tier.
He should go stupid back in the day, not gonna lie. El Chapo was him.
Mar-a-Lago. After buying it in 1985, Donald made a few changes. In his yard, he put an 80-foot tall American flag. In his bathroom, he added a few classified documents from the White House. But the biggest change he made was turning the property into an exclusive club. For a $200,000 entry fee, you could become a Mar-a-Lago member and hang out with rich people.
$200,000, yo.
He was a member of Trump's club until
no, thank you.
When he got kicked out for hitting on a
$200,000.
Classic Jeffrey. The club's been printing over $20 million a year, making Mar-a-Lago one of Trump's most lucrative investments. It's a somewhat controversial house, but it is a nice place. Being the
it is a nice spot.
Has a lot of perks. You get the coolest jewelry collection of all time. You get to drive a Bentley limo without needing a license. You get to pay taxes when you feel like it. But the coolest part of being the queen is living in the $5 billion Buckingham Palace. This 775.
That place looks whack though. Look at that.
A license. You get to pay taxes when you feel like it. But the coolest part of being the queen is living in the
that's $5 billion. That is $5 billion. That looks whack as hell. Look at this. Like, yeah, there's probably a lot of rooms, a lot of space. Bro, there's nothing going on. I know the Buckingham Palace is boring as hell. 775 rooms. For what? Why? Why do you need that many rooms? There's no pool. I don't see no pool. No basketball court. No nothing. I know the Buckingham Palace is boring.
175 room behemoth has everything you need to be the ultimate rich person. You got a throne room,
a throne room. Okay, that's pretty fire.
ATM in your basement, so you can take out a brick and flex on your 800 staff members. This place is so big, it has its own zip code. I think I'm too poor to even be looking at this house.
That's S tier, really?
The co-founder of Google has 5 private islands. What is Larry Page doing on his 5
Imagine having
islands?
5 private islands.
I haven't noticed anything unusual except for a few helicopters. But in the 2013 conference, we may have gotten a glimpse into the answer.
Well, there's many exciting and important things you could do that you just can't do because they're illegal. But maybe we should.
Why is he speaking so low?
World where we can try
speak up
things and figure out what is the effect on society, what's the effect on people.
So in case you can't read between the lines, Larry Page is using his islands to perform human experiments on children.
Probably.
S tier. In a 2010 letter to shareholders, stock market genius Warren Buffett said that his third best investment was his house. In 1958, he bought a $30,000 home in a quiet neighborhood of Omaha, Nebraska. The property is now worth over 40 times what he bought it for, which might seem like an amazing financial return. However, if he had instead invested that $30K into the stock market, he would have made $3 million. The reason Buffett considers his house such a good investment is not because of numbers, but because of the memories it brought him and his family.
That's valid. Wow, this guy is ruthless.
richest man in India dropped $2 billion on a
Oh,
27-story
I know
mega
this.
mansion in the middle of the hood.
That's pretty
Creative
valid.
Visionary Kanye West said this in a 2018 interview.
I'm gonna be one of the biggest real estate developers of all time. I'm tired of the McMansions, all the Spanish roof homes and stuff like that. Like, that shit whack, bro. Like, everybody house whack. It's trash.
Kanye bought this house in 2023. It was originally a church in Los Angeles that he planned to use for his Donda Academy school, but it's since been left to rot. In 2019, Kanye started building massive dome-shaped structures inspired by Star Wars that he believed would revolutionize
That's pretty
affordable
cool.
housing. He was seconds away from solving the homelessness crisis when California shut him down because they already have tents for that. Recently, Kanye bought a $57 million Malibu home, paid someone 20 grand a week to destroy it, then listed it back up for sale for $4 million less than what he bought it for. And on top of that, the guy that he paid to destroy it, turns out he never paid him. So now he's also getting sued after taking L after L after L.
Yeah,
Kanye officially
that's
announced
F
that
tier.
he'll be building a 100,000 acre city in the Middle East.
Yeah, throw his ass an F.
Jack
That
Ma,
was
the
that was
founder
just
of
terrible.
Alibaba, bought a $191 million mansion on the tallest hill on Hong Kong Island. It offers a beautiful
See, now
view
that's
of the
cool.
world's most unaffordable city. However, Mr.
That's
Ma
cool.
might not be able to appreciate this view any longer because in late 2020 at an economic conference, he made the grave mistake of criticizing the Chinese government.
He
Jack Ma
went.
isn't dead, by the way. He ended up reappearing in China a few months
okay.
later. Hopefully,
I was about to say, yeah, he's
Michael Jordan's mansion could be yours.
Michael
for
Jordan's mansion.
$14,855,000. It's
I
actually
think
been
I've
for sale
seen
for
this in
over a
like
decade.
movies.
The main reason no one's buying it is because it's in Illinois.
Yeah, ain't nobody out there.
On top of that, a lot of the home's features are too unique to Jordan. Not many buyers would want front gates with
I would
someone else's
still
jersey
want
number,
that,
a theater
to
with
be
someone
fair.
else's
Look at
logo,
that. That's
and a
still
basketball
fire.
court with the names of someone else's kids. Marking your territory.
That's
is
still
effective
fire,
for
though.
Keeping people from eating your pizza and also keeping people from buying your
That's a cool
Now,
house.
to the average broke person like myself, having a $15 million house that's not selling might seem like an absolute disaster, but for Michael Jordan, he's probably not that worried. Solid detail.
Yeah, he's
Jeff
chilling.
Bezos launched Amazon.com from the garage of a house he was renting for $890 a month. He's now the 25th largest landowner in the United States. Jeff has properties all across the country. His main home was a $10 million mansion in Washington until 2023 when he moved to Florida so he could be closer to his family and further from the IRS. He lives on a man-made island off the coast of Miami, where he bought a $68 million mansion. 2 months later, he spent $79 million on the one next door. It's a pretty chill place, I'd say B tier. But he's also
Is it
on
mere
an island off
like
the coast of Miami, where he bought a $68 million mansion.
like that's 68? That's a $68 million
2 months
house.
later, he spent
That's $68 million. $68 million. Like, is that? I don't know. I don't know. Like, maybe location. The location is really cool, but this is $68 million. That pool looks lame as hell. That's not a $68 million pool. That pool can use some work. No basketball court anywhere.
$79 million on the one next door.
Like, you got a big ass front yard, big ass backyard. That's cool. But I'm seeing like the basketball court can go right here. You know what I'm saying? Or make it a soccer field. Put some goals, put some goal posts on both ends. But that's not 68 M's. That's not a $68 million house. That's insane.
It's a pretty.
See, now that the one next to him though,
He lives on a man-made island off
The-
the coast
the-
of Miami,
the other
where
one
bought
he
a
bought.
$68 million
that's a valid house. That's a valid house. Look at that house.
mansion. 2 months later, he spent $79 million on the one next door.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool house. I mean, it looks like it has less yard space, but more house.
Pretty chill place, I'd say B tier. But he's also evading taxes, so that bumps him up to A tier. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman dropped 300 mil on a French
Damn, now look at this. All right. 300 million. But look what's going on though. You got so much going on. You got all this back here. You probably own all this land. You probably own these trees right here. $300 million. Like, is this the pool? Are these the pools right here? Can you swim in this? All I'm seeing is like little ponds. I hope this is like swimmable water, because I'm seeing no pool. Maybe this is like the pool house over here. The pool is like behind it, maybe. I don't know. This looks lame as hell. Boring. This grass, lame as hell. This grass, lame as hell. This is pretty fire. What they got going on over here, this is all fire. But these side skirts need some work. I'm telling you right now. I don't know if I'm paying 300 mil for this, but it looks decent. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, like, the inside's better.
It has a nightclub, a moat with an underwater aquarium, and modern technology.
Aquarium's pretty cool.
With an iPhone. The building might seem like a historic landmark.
Yeah, this is fire. This is fire. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm dropping 300 M's.
It was actually built in 2009 by Saudi businessman Ahmad Khashoggi. The wealthy developer probably won't be doing business with the Crown Prince anytime soon, because in 2018, according to the CIA, the Crown Prince assassinated his cousin. If Ahmad and the Crown Prince ever link up again, that might be an awkward conversation.
Assassinated his cousin.
Billionaire's Row is a New York City neighborhood with the tallest and most expensive buildings in the world. The people that buy these apartments aren't buying apartments. They're investing in furnished capitalism.
The majority of people who are actually living here aren't actually living here. They're using these apartments for places to store value.
It's a brand. It's like a Birkin bag. Where do you live? 157. Where do you live? 111. Where do you live? 220.
In 2019, billionaire investor Ken Griffin bought 4 floors of 220 Central Park South for $238 million, making it the most expensive real estate purchase in the United States. 220 holds the most desirable view in the city.
That's so cool, though. Look at that view.
220 Central Park South for
That's still so expensive,
making
though.
it the most expensive real estate purchase in the United States. 220 holds
Can we get that view again? Look at that view. That, oh my lord. That is an insane view. Yeah, I see. That's something I might.
View in the city.
That's something I might cop. You know what I'm saying? If I had $238 million lying around somewhere, this might be the one right here.
The only Billionaire's Row tower located directly on Central Park. I mess with Ken Griffin, but I think $240 million for a concrete brick is a little bit too much. Bill Gates.
It is wild, but that view is fire.
Washington. It has an epic library with a manuscript written by Leonardo da Vinci. That's the only interior footage of his house on the internet. So some of the following visuals will be made with AI.
AI is a brilliant tool.
Bill Gates has a 60-foot indoor swimming pool. Inside of it is an underwater sound system, but that's nothing compared to his personal Lake Washington beach that has sand imported from the Caribbean. He also has a trampoline room, walls covered in screens, and his favorite tree that he monitors electronically 24 hours a day. There's some cool tech in this house.
There's some cool stuff in that house.
Larry Ellison, the co-founder of Oracle,
a 60-foot indoor pool.
Listed a few of his expenses.
That's pretty cool.
$25 million villa in Japan, $194 million yacht.
Ooh, that's fire.
The co-founder of Oracle, got a letter.
Little expensive.
It listed a few of his expenses, like his 25.
That's fire. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful house. $25 million though. Man, I don't know. But that is a beautiful house.
$1 million villa in Japan, $194 million yacht, and $200 million Japanese temple in California. Larry's net worth at the time was $23 billion, but his accountant was still concerned. I'm worried, Larry. It's imperative that we start to budget and plan. New purchases should be kept.
Oracle CEO and billionaire Larry Ellison has just made a rather large investment or purchase.
Yeah, this guy be wildin'.
S tier. Kim Kardashian bought a $20 million home in 2014 with her then.
See, now that is worth your money.
Rather a large investment or purchase. He's just bought the island of Lanai.
S tier. Kim Kardashian bought a $20 million.
That is, bro. This might be like the most. Like, this might be the best house yet. Just off of price and what you get for the price. You know what I'm saying? Look at this house. This is a nice ass house. Nice pool, nice backyard, front yard, pretty valid. Like, you got all this, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You can destroy all this, turn it into a soccer field, throw the soccer field back here, maybe throw the basketball court somewhere around here. And you know what I'm saying? This is valid. 20 mil. This is valid.
With her then husband Kanye West. They spent 3 years transforming it into what they described as a minimal monastery and what others described as an expensive psych ward. This house is a really cool art project.
I don't know. That's a lot of bang for buck.
Of this strange time where you're selling your houses, you say you don't want any material possessions, and
I'm slightly sad about it, actually.
Well, if you're sad about it, why are you doing it?
On May 1st of 2020, Elon Musk announced that he would be selling almost all physical possessions, including his homes. And he stayed true to his word, selling off each of his California mansions one by one. He then acquired a $50,000 tiny home.
That's cool.
I think possessions kind of weigh you down, kind of an attack vector.
But that's cool.
You got all this stuff. Like, well, now I don't have stuff. Now what are you gonna do?
Elon's $50,000 tiny home.
That's cool.
Is actually his guest house. His main home is a South Texas rental property. It's technically only worth 45 grand, but he also spent 200,000 building an 8-foot fence around it and covering it with security cameras. Elon says he got rid of his stuff when he sold off his $100 million real estate portfolio. But considering that only accounts for 0.05% of his wealth, he still has a lot of stuff after all.
Yeah, that guy's insanely rich. The tier list might not be accurate. I would have made it different, but still valid video. That was pretty dope.